Namo Vishnu Sadaya Krishna Sastaya Dutale Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Dacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Dasatarine. This is a cursing singer. This is a cursing singer. This is a cursing singer. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sridhasani Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gaura Harido, 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 Harido. Radhano Ranahan, Makakaroti Dachanan, Panguranga Tegaring, Yatkita Tanhang Monday, Shiguru Nirtana, Paramanamara, Sri Chaitanya, Ishwaran, Hare Krishna. So, Prabhupada said that Vrindavan was his residence and Mayapur was his place of worship and Bombay was his office. He didn't say what Hyderabad was, but he got a mention. So he said, if he left his body in Mayapur, then he would have the Stola Samadhi there and Pushpa Samadhi in Vrindavan. And if he left his body in Vrindavan, then he would have the Stola Samadhi there and a Pushpa Samadhi in Mayapur. So they had arranged for him 3 or 4 Mercedes Benzes and renting these cars never failed. Somehow all the 3 third cars failed and didn't reach Vrindavan in time for Prabhupada to catch the flight to Calcutta. So then he said, this is a sign by Krishna, and he cancelled his trip to Calcutta. We were in to Nyanthar. we were in Mayapur, all ready to receive Prabhupada. We thought it was special mercy that he was coming to Mayapur. But when we got the message that he was not coming, that this thing happened with the vehicles. Now that I'm older and wiser, I wonder whether there were some tricks. At the time we just took it as Krishna's mercy. Alright, Krishna wants His divine grace to stay in Vrindavan in 1977. Srila Prabhupada called all the GDCs. I was the newest GDC, so he called us all there, and he said, I'm about to leave the world, so what questions do you want to ask me? So the first question that we all wanted to ask Srila Prabhupada was if he could postpone his departure. So then he went into silent meditation where and then he spoke, Krishna will let me stay for some time, but you should still ask me what questions you have. So we asked, how will the initiation system go after your departure, about the GDCs, the 5 questions. So, Jai Gaurnitai, Jai Radha Madan, Mohan Jai Jagannath Subhadra Ki. See, there Srila Prabhupada mentioned that he would name some devotees and their disciples would be his grand disciples, disciples of his disciples. So, with statements like that, the GDC ruled out the possibility of any arctic system, because it was quite obvious that the Prabhupada wanted his disciples to initiate devotees who would be their disciples. With this message hanging over everyone's head that Prabhupada was going to leave sometime in the future, our devotees came and they took turns in chanting very softly for Srila Prabhupada. Very softly. If you chant, if you small kartals, you have to chant very softly. If you chant too loud, you stop, say chant soft. It's like a very meditative, deep, emotional chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You couldn't chant louder than that. So it was different devotees like Dwaraj and different devotees came and they were singing for Srila Prabhupada. In between Prabhupada, he was translating books One time somehow I got the mercy to massage his lotus feet. So I took his lotus feet, I put my hand to his lotus feet. For me that was perfection of my life. At that time, he said, "You sannyasis, you have to take the curse." I then cursed like Narad Muni by the parents of the devotees in the Western world. I can never stay in one place, I have to travel. In the holy places like Vrindavan and Mayapur, curses don't take effect. Otherwise, he was traveling. So you have to take this curse, you have to travel. I was the only sannyasi there. And the second time he said, that time there was me and one other sannyasi. So only two of us. But in general, he surely wanted all the sannyasis to travel. But I got a special blast of mercy. So once I became an Indian citizen in 1978, at that time Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the foreign minister, and I had like 7 ministers and 13 members of parliament, and including Srinathji and others, and 30,000, petitioners from Orissa and Bengal who said they wanted me to be a citizen. So after that I started traveling, but until then I wasn't traveling. And the curse didn't have effect because I was living in the Holy Dham. But as accused on the Krishna Katha Desh in the Middle East, he knows I visit there a couple times a year, I visit throughout. My zone itself is expanded: South America, Middle East, Southeast Asia, Southern India, Northern India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, just to cover, and then United States, Southeast. So just to cover my zone, I had to travel quite a bit. And then gradually I started visiting other places. Srila Prabhupada, one day,
Srila Prabhupada one day,
he lifted up his arm and he showed me.
he lifted his arm and showed me.
At that time he was very thin.
At the time he was very thin.
And he said, "Look at skin and bones.
Look at skin and bone.
This is because I took too many unqualified disciples.
Because I have taken too many unqualified disciples.
Therefore I'm sick like this."
That's why I'm sick.
So it was a very intimate time with Srila Prabhupada.
This was when we are intimate with Srila Prabhupada.
I spent half my time in Vrindavan and half I was in Mayapur.
Half time in Vrindavan, half time in Mayapur.
So I had to come and go. I had to see that everything was going all right in Mayapur.
I had to make sure everything is going on smoothly in Mayapur. So I had come and go.
then when I came back, I would hear all the news about what Prabhupada had done.
So when I come back, I used to hear what all has happened.
So and that was just a difficult time to remember, actually. That's a difficult time to remember.
That was a difficult time to remember.
Because we didn't want to think that Prabhupada was ever going to leave us. That was a difficult time
That was a difficult time
because we didn't want to think that Prabhupada would ever leave us.
because we could not think that Prabhupada would leave us.
We were always hoping that he'll come there and
We were always hoping that he will come back
his departure would delay for many years.
and his departure will be delayed for many, many years.
But
But
Krishna had other plans.
Krishna had different plans.
Someone asked me whether that I wasn't in the video of Prabhupada's departure.
Somebody asked me whether I had a video of Prabhupada's departure.
No, whether I was in it.
I was in it.
I was in Vrindavan. That morning I left with a check of $1.5 lakh.
Because on the same day that Prabhupada left, I was in Vrindavan, but in the morning I left from Vrindavan with 1.5 lakh check to Mayapur.
That Prabhupada wanted a house built where he could stay in life.
That's Prabhupada wanted to have a house built for him in Mayapur.
So we thought he's going to stay for some time.
So we thought that he will be staying with us for some time.
By the time I reached Calcutta, then I found out that he had left.
By the time we reached Calcutta, we found out that Prabhupada has left.
Then we went back.
Then we went back to Vrindavan.
But he was already laid in Samadhi.
It was already late for his Samadhi.
He was laid in.
He was already laid in Samadhi. So
I was told that he was carried to all of the temples in Vrindavan, and everyone received him as a great hero.
I was told that Prabhupada was carried to various temples in Vrindavan as if somebody like a hero.
And all the temple priests came out and received him.
And all the temple priests, they came out and received him.
So like this, he went in procession around the different temples of Vrindavan.
So he went on procession to different temples of Vrindavan.
And then they laid him in Samadhi.
And then they laid him in Samadhi.
Which the land is limited in Vrindavan, so they decided to make this Samadhi a temple of Jayapataka. The land area is limited in Vrindavan.
The land area is limited in Vrindavan, so decided to build a Samadhi in front of the temple.
In pure marble.
In pure marble.
In Mayapur, we have a bigger area, so there we made out of concrete.
In Mayapur, we have a bigger area, so we have bigger Samadhi with marble, concrete Samadhi.
I don't know that Prabhupada authorized any other Samadhi.
I don't know whether Prabhupada authorized any other Samadhi.
But they have one in Brazil and Gokul.
They have been new in Brazil, New Gokul,
And
and
I think that's about it. Maybe New Vrindavan has, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure whether New Vrindavan has another Samadhi of Srila Prabhupada.
They have the Prabhupada Memorial,
They have the Prabhupada Memorial,
Palace of Gold.
Palace of Gold in New Vrindavan, West Virginia, USA.
But
But
Prabhupada was, he kept alive by his teachings, by his followers. So, in one sense, we don't feel that he left, that he's gone.
But we keep alive Srila Prabhupada by his teachings, by his books, by his followers. So we don't feel that he has left.
In fact, many devotees have dreams of Srila Prabhupada even today.
Many devotees have dreams of Srila Prabhupada even today.
There was one nurse in the Bhaktivedanta hospital.
There was a nurse in Bhaktivedanta hospital.
She fell asleep on the night duty.
She fell asleep on night duty.
Prabhupada came in her dream.
Prabhupada came in her dream.
He said, read thy books.
Read my books, Prabhupada said.
Library is just here. The library is just here.
The library is just here.
You can get my books and read them.
You can get my books and read them.
She was startled. She woke up.
She was surprised and woke up.
And since then, she's been reading Prabhupada's books.
And since then, she has been reading Srila Prabhupada's books.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
So, like this, how many of you have had a dream of Prabhupada?
How many of you have ever any dream of Srila Prabhupada?
One, two, three.
How many of you have ever a dream of Srila Prabhupada?
I count about 5 hands.
I saw 5 hands.
So, he's, in fact, I had many dreams of Prabhupada, and even in this group of devotees, at least 5 have had dreams. So, Prabhupada is visiting many souls through dreams.
So even if we had less devotees, but still in a group, we had 5 devotees who had dream of Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada still visits the devotees in their dreams.
So we are very fortunate to be followers of His Divine Grace, a.c.bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
We are very fortunate to be followers of His Divine Grace, a.c.bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
He wants all of you to take up His mission, take up His legacy, and keep it alive.
He was always, we are always eager to take up His legacy. He wants us to be eager to take up His legacy, to take up His mission.
You see, I almost left, but somehow Krishna gave me some chance to stay here a little longer.
I almost left this world, but Krishna gave me some chance to stay in this world for a little longer.
We don't know how long.
We don't know how long.
But so we're hoping that all of you will take up the mission and keep it going in the future.
But so we hope all of you take up this mission of Srila Prabhupada and keep it going on.
My Purvashram mother was very fortunate that she could do some personal service for Srila Prabhupada.
My Purva Ashram mother was very fortunate that she could do some personal service to Srila Prabhupada.
She was a rose horticulturist. She was an expert on roses.
She was a rose horticulturist. She was growing roses.
So she would go and cut the roses every day and make a bouquet to put on Srila Prabhupada's desk.
She would every day cut the roses, make a bouquet, and place it upon the table of Srila Prabhupada.
So that's the way you cut the rose plant, not straight across it, an angle.
She would cut the roses not in a straight way, but in an angle.
So she had all these tricks that were to be used in cutting and growing roses.
So she would use all these tricks in regularly cutting the roses.
So like this, she was there while Prabhupada was there, and she was giving these flowers every day to Srila Prabhupada.
So when Srila Prabhupada was there, she was giving every day all these flowers to Srila Prabhupada.
Once I walked in and Prabhupada was teaching to another.
Once I walked in and I saw Prabhupada was preaching to my mother.
He was telling her that we're actually the spirit soul, the living force.
Prabhupada was telling my mother that we are not actually this body, but the living force.
And I never heard Prabhupada say living force before.
I never heard Prabhupada saying living force before.
It was, but somehow it was just the right thing that my mother could understand.
But it was somehow just the right thing that my mother could understand.
So my mother said that she had a religious experience at the confluence of the Jalangi and the Ganges.
My mother said that she had the religious experience at the confluence of Jamuna and Ganga.
Hare Krishna.
She wouldn't tell me what it was, but she said when she dies,
Hare Krishna.
she wants some of her ashes to put there.
She wanted that when she dies, her ashes to be put at these rivers, Ganga and Jamuna.
Ganga and Jalangi.
Ganga and Jalangi.
So she went to Prabhupada and told him that she fell in the Ganges and she was pulled up by the devotees and she got wet up to her forehead.
She went up to Srila Prabhupada and said that she fell in Ganges. Somehow the devotees pulled her out and she was wet till her forehead.
Prabhupada said, "Oh, this is a blessing. Now nothing will kill you from the forehead down."
Prabhupada said, "Oh, this is mercy to you. Now nothing will kill you from your forehead down."
But she got a stroke in the top of her head and anorexia, of this name, just above that mark.
And actually she got a stroke in her temple of forehead, actually just above that mark.
So somehow she survived, and so she decided she wants to come back to Mayapur. She came a second time, and she took a full dip.
So somehow she survived and she came back to Mayapur for second time, and then she took a second dip in Ganga. This time complete dip.
So Prabhupada was, he was giving his mercy to everyone.
So Srila Prabhupada was giving his mercy to everyone.
Once Prabhupada was saying, you see, the Gaudiya are not, they're very expert in treating their guests in a very special way. You have to learn how to treat your guests.
So Srila Prabhupada once told the Gaudiya Math devotees, they are best trained how to receive the guests. So you should be trained from them how to receive the guests. How to.
You should be trained. He said, I will train you.
Prabhupada said, I will train.
So it just so happened that one commissioner of the one presidency division for districts, he came to visit Mayapur.
So it just happened that one of police commissioner of one district in West Bengal, 4 districts, they came to visit Srila Prabhupada.
One district has a district collector, and at that time, I don't know, 4 districts had a commissioner.
At that time, 4 districts had one commissioner.
So anyway, Prabhupada, he, like, at a chair like this, he sat down and he fed the commissioner, his wife, and his driver, and some other dignitaries.
So Srila Prabhupada made this commissioner, his wife and driver, made them to sit on a chair and fed them prasadam.
So, exactly what he said before about hospitality he was showing us, he started saying, certain, give them more chapati, more rice, more this, more that.
Exactly before what he said about hospitality, he showed by example. He asked them, give them chapati, give them this item. In that way, Srila Prabhupada showed by example what he said.
So, the commissioner was feeling very indebted. The acharya is sitting up me, and he's supervising my prasadam.
So the commissioner felt very indebted. Just see, the acharya is feeding me, supervising what I need, what I should be given.
Even something wasn't very much needed, but oh no, he needs water, water please, we want water, water. You know, so the person would become very excited, oh, how the acharya is taking so much concern.
So even if somebody didn't want anything, still Prabhupada asked, oh, give him water, give him water. So this person was feeling indebted, how this acharya is taking so much concern to feed us.
Then we had in Bengal, in Bengal, every place is famous for some sweet.
In Bengal, every place is famous for some sweet.
Like Krishnagar is famous for what they call, it's a kheer rolled up. What do you call it? In Urdwan, the famous for sita dog. It's like noodles made out of chana. And Navadip is famous for misti dahi, sweet yogurt.
In Krishnanagar is famous for some sweet item like a kheer. Bardhaman is famous for sita bhog, that is like a noodle. And Navadvip is famous for mishti dahi.
So he served this commissioner mishti dahi.
So Srila Prabhupada served this commissioner mishti dahi.
And he liked it very much.
And he liked it very much.
So, I said, don't worry, if you like it, we'll send it to you every so often.
So Prabhupada said, if you liked it, then we'll send it to your home every few days.
So I had to bring a pot of mishti dahi to the commissioner.
So I had to bring a pot of mishti dahi to the commissioner.
Few times I brought.
Few times.
So the secret was then the commissioner asked Prabhupada if he was so indebted, the Acharya had taken personal interest. Is there anything I can do for you in your mission? Just tell me anything at all.
So the secret was because the commissioner felt so indebted. Oh, this Acharya is taking so much concern in serving me. So he asked Srila Prabhupada, anything I can do for you, please tell me. I want to do something for you, for your mission.
So those were the secret words that Prabhupada was waiting for.
So that was the secret words of Srila Prabhupada serving.
Well, he said there is one small thing.
Prabhupada said, oh, there is a small thing.
You know, we need about 350, 400 acres.
Prabhupada said, oh, we need some 350, 400 acres of land.
Actually, he signed for it.
Actually, he signed for it.
He got all the way up to the different layers of the government to get to the chief minister.
He went all through all these layers up to the limit of chief minister to do it.
At that time it was Siddhartha Shankar Rai.
At that time, the chief minister was Siddhartha Shankar Rai.
He looked at this, what is this 350 acres? He wrote, he wants some more information.
The chief minister, he looked at this report and then he put a remark for more information.
He didn't get the prasad from Prabhupada.
Oh, he didn't receive any prasad from Prabhupada.
Then he was voted out and the left front came in.
Then he was voted out and the left front came in.
So anyway, but the Prabhupada was showing us how we should take care of the guests.
So anyway, Srila Prabhupada was showing us how to take care of the guests.
So we hope that if you visit Nayathan, you'll get nice, tender, loving care.
We hope that if you visit Mayapur, you receive kind, tender, loving care.
TLC. TLC.
TLC. What is that?
Tender, loving care.
TLC, tender, loving care. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya.
So like this, Prabhupada was showing us different sides of himself there in Mayapur.
So like this, Prabhupada was showing the different sides of his personality in Mayapur.
He was living in the lotus building.
He was living in the lotus building.
And the brahmacharis were in the top floor.
And the brahmacharis were at the top floor.
And they had hung a rope around the corner of the building to hang their dhotis and gamchas and so on to dry.
And we had put on the ropes around the building so that brahmacharis and devotees could hang up their dhotis, gamchas and clothing.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
I'm not guilty of it.
I am not guilty of it.
I know who did it.
I know who did it.
No, I don't know who did it.
I don't know who did it.
But Prabhupada came up and saw this rope routing a hole into the plaster.
Prabhupada came on and saw somebody is digging a hole into the plaster.
This rope was gradually cutting into the plaster.
This rope was gradually cutting into the plaster.
What is this?
What is this?
What is this, Prabhupada said?
What is this, Prabhupada said?
These brahmacharis are destroying my building.
These brahmacharis are destroying my building.
So he kicked all the brahmacharis
He
out.
saw Prabhupada kicked out all the brahmacharis. Don't mind.
He's a brahmachari.
He is a brahmachari.
So, like this, at one time, the men, they were sick, so Prabhupada went to see them, and they were staying in a long building.
So sometimes some men were sick. Prabhupada went to see them in the long building.
Oh, all lying, holding their stomach.
My stomach is aching.
They had what was known as the Bengal belly.
So they ate something called as Bengal
Belly.
belly.
That was a nickname, and then dysentery.
That was the nickname for dysentery. Bengal belly.
The Prabhupada said, this is, you see, if you do some hard work, you can digest a stone.
Prabhupada said, if you do hard work, you can digest stone.
So you're not working hard now.
So you are not working hard now.
So then he started the parikrama and other different activities.
So Prabhupada started the
Parikrama.
parikrama and other different activities.
So during the festival, others are eating so much they're getting a stomach ache because they weren't working.
So then came the festival. Because of the festival, they were eating so much and not working. That was giving them stomach pain.
So once they were going out on the Harinam, the parikrama, then they didn't have trouble to digest.
So when they went out on parikrama, harinam, so they didn't have difficulty to digest.
One time, Prabhupada got a dysentery.
So one time Prabhupada had dysentery.
He was in Calcutta,
He was in Calcutta.
and he asked his sister, who used to call her as Tichina, meaning the auntie of the father, sister of the father.
So he called on for Pishima, his sister. We used to call her Pishima, or the auntie or the sister of father.
She was Prabhupada's little sister, so he would call her something else.
She was Prabhupada's little sister. So Prabhupada used to call her something else.
He asked her to tell puris,
He asked her to cook puris,
hot puris,
hot puri,
and he sprinkled some salt on it.
sprinkle some salt on it.
Somehow that cured his dysentery.
Somehow they cured his dysentery.
But for us it was amazing. So we never thought fried puris could cure dysentery. It was amazing for us.
It was amazing for us to see how hot puris with salt can cure dysentery.
One time, one of the sannyasis was taking Mrityu Sanjivani to cure his dysentery.
So one time one sannyasi was taking Mrityu Sanjivani to cure his dysentery.
He was taking like 2 bottles a day.
He was taking like 2 bottles a day.
So they looked at it and said, oh, this is Ayurvedic wine.
Prabhupada looked at it and he said, it's Ayurvedic oil.
They sell it
They sell it
just to avoid the excise tax.
just to levy the excise tax,
To avoid.
to avoid the excise tax.
He said the Prabhupada is named by Shankaracharya. It's named by it was created by Shankaracharya, by, what's his name? Who's the guru of the demons? Sukracharya.
Prabhupada said it was made by Sukracharya, the guru of demons.
No, we said
We said?
it's a Sukracharya. He said, yeah, he's the guru of the demons.
We said to Prabhupada, it is made by Sukracharya. Prabhupada said, okay, he is the guru of demons.
So, you shouldn't take this. Of course, if you have dysentery, you can take a few capsules, but you shouldn't take it regularly because it's wine.
Prabhupada said, okay, if you have dysentery, you can take few capsules, but should not take it regularly because it is wine.
And one time in Calcutta, the devotee was hanging out the window to get a neem twig for Prabhupada.
One time in Calcutta, one devotee was hanging out of the window to get a neem twig for Prabhupada.
Prabhupada said, please don't do that.
Prabhupada said, please don't do that.
I can't stand to see you hanging out the window like that.
I
What if
can't-
you fall?
I can stand and see that you are hanging out of the window. What happens if you fall?
So Prabhupada, this is the only neem tree in the area.
Oh, that devotee said to Prabhupada, this is the only means to get that neem twig.
This is the only neem tree in the area.
This is the only neem tree in the area.
Well, don't do it in front of me.
Oh, don't do it in front of me.
I can't stand to see you.
I cannot stand it to see this you doing.
And then one time in Calcutta, they had velvet, dark blue velvet curtains.
One time in Calcutta, they had dark blue velvet curtains.
So these curtains were attracting the mosquitoes.
These curtains were attracting the mosquitoes.
So they're coming in with some poison spray to kill the mosquitoes. The devotees were coming with the poison spray.
The devotee was coming with poison spray to kill the mosquitoes.
Prabhupada said, you rascal.
Prabhupada said, you are a rascal.
First you attract the mosquito
First you attract the mosquitoes
by putting a velvet curtain,
by putting a velvet curtain,
and you want to kill them.
and then you want to kill them.
Replace the curtains with something that doesn't attract mosquitoes.
So you should replace these curtains with something that does not attract the mosquitoes.
Then one time, the home minister came in and he put his head on the feet of Prabhupada.
So one day, Home Minister came in and he put his head at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada.
Forcibly he went behind the desk, grabbed his feet,
Forcibly he went behind the desk, grabbed Prabhupada's feet and put it on his head.
so Bhagavanata, he was ready to punch him.
So Bhavanand went to punch him.
I said, no, that's
Prabhupada said, no, don't do it.
Home minister is in charge of all the police and
Home Minister is in charge of all police and
then the home minister said, I've been watching your devotees and I think that all these foreign devotees are all born in India in previous births, they're all your previously devotees.
the Home Minister said to Prabhupada, I am watching your devotees and I feel they are all previously born in India.
That they are previously devotees.
They are previously devotees.
Prabhupada said, yes, I have been saying this.
I have been saying this.
Then the Holiness had left.
Home Minister left.
And Kausalya Dasi and I was seated in the room.
Kausala Dasi and I was seeing.
Were seated in the room.
I was seated in the room.
So Prabhupada was telling us that, see, he confirmed it. You are all devotees before.
So Prabhupada confirmed, just see, you have been all devotees before.
So that time I said, Prabhupada, I'm very fallen soul.
At that time I said to Prabhupada, I am very fallen soul.
How can I have been a devotee before?
How could I have been a devotee before?
And he got very serious.
Then Prabhupada got very serious.
What are you doing? You're doubting the words of the Guru?
What are you doing? You are doubting the words of Guru?
He put it so heavy that there was no reply you could make.
He became so heavy that you could not make any reply.
So like this, Prabhupada, he was showing many different sides to his personality.
So like this, Prabhupada was showing different sides of his personality. And
so at that time, he was struggling for making temples in the big cities around India.
At that time he was suffering.
He was struggling
to make a temple
in the big cities around India.
In big cities around India.
Now he made one temple he made in Vrindavan and Mayapur, but in the cities he made in Bombay with great difficulty.
Now we have big temples in Vrindavan, Mayapur, but in big city like Bombay, he made with very great difficulty.
Since then, now we have temples in Ahmedabad, and Surat, and Baroda, and
Since then we have temples in Vrindavan, Ahmedabad, Surat, Baroda, Vrindavan.
Of course, Prabhupada, he made this temple of Hyderabad during his presence.
Of course, Prabhupada made this temple in Hyderabad during his days.
But other temples came up afterwards.
Other temples came afterwards.
So, I'm sure that Prabhupada is very happy to see all the temples around India.
So Prabhupada was very happy to see all the temples coming up around India.
And he'll be very happy to see so many nice devotees here.
And Prabhupada would have been very happy to see all the devotees, nice devotees around here.
In Hyderabad.
In Hyderabad.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I could go on talking about Prabhupada, but it's late and I'm already very tired.
I could go on talking about Prabhupada, but at this time I am very tired.
And you have your other programs.
And you have other programs.
So I'll end here.
So I end here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada ki, Prabhupada ki, Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.